from Nevada in Las Vegas, 5'8", 180 pounds. And kicking off will be Eddie Garcia, not Jan Stenerud. Garcia with a little more foot, perhaps, than Stenerud. Underway in a game the Packers know they must win. Michael Morton. And Morton hammered at the 21-yard line. And the Packers came out of the locker room. They were intense. They were gathered together. Their coach, Bart Starr, he too. You could see it written across his face. Jack Thompson, the quarterback, who replaced Doug Williams at the start of the season, acquired from Cincinnati for a first-round draft pick. His numbers on the year, 58.4%, 14 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. But he's only thrown 3 in the last 154 attempts. He's thrown 7 touchdowns, half of his touchdowns in the last 2 games. First down and 10, Tampa Bay at their own 21-yard line. Carver over the right side, and he is hammered and hit hard by George Cumbie after a gain of 2, perhaps 3. It'll be third down and 7. Defensively, as we look at the Green Bay Packers, their linebacking core, one of the finest in football today, headed by John Anderson. Mike Douglas is back after missing a week, suspended from the team. Conduct detrimental to the team. And, of course, the secondary of Tim Lewis at the corner, Mark Lee at the other corner, Murphy and Gray at the safeties. It's second down and 7. Gain of 3 by Carver. Carver works again, left side, and this time Carver up to about the 29-yard line, where it'll bring up a third down and a long 3, hit there by Ezra Johnson. For the Buccaneers, they have one starting player on offense that has started every game this season. It's hard to believe the injuries that they have had during the course of the year. Of course, losing Doug Williams to the USFL at the beginning of the season didn't help things either. But their key receiver was James Wilder, who went out with broken ribs 4 weeks ago. He had 57 receptions. Jimmy Giles, questionable end of the night, the big tight end and the all-time receiver for the Bucs. Third down and 3. Thompson throws into the crowd and is picked off. Wrong way. Randy Scott, inside linebacker, steps right in front of the intended receiver. He turns it down to the 24-yard line and a quick turnover for Green Bay. And the 15th, or rather 18th interception thus far this season for Jack Thompson.
Frank, a stat that you showed earlier on Thompson, he's had really a couple of good games here, the last 2, but this one, you wonder what he's doing. Giles or somebody is supposed to come in the middle, and that one just didn't happen. I guess that was Obradovic that was supposed coming on the inside. Nobody moves. You mentioned the linebacker strength of Green Bay, and they do have pretty good strength.
That's why they like Randy Scott in that lineup. He has good movement. He replaced Rich Wingo. Lynn Dickey moves up to the line of scrimmage. Having a tremendous year is Lynn Dickey, the quarterback of the Packers. Toss goes out to Huckleby. Huckleby works the left side to the 20-yard line. A gain of about 4. It'll be a second down and 6. And let's take a look at the offensive unit as we see Randy Scott, who gave the Pack their first turnover. I mentioned Dickey's year. Third rated in the NFC after 14 games as we look at the skill positions there. But for Dickey, he came into the night 82 yards short of a 4,000-yard season. He had thrown 30 touchdown passes. He's had some phenomenal games. And perhaps more important than anything else, if you're aware of his career, he has stayed relatively healthy. Second down and 6. Gary Ellis, right side. Gary Ellis hit, hammered after a pickup of 2. It'll bring up third down and 4.
One thing about this Tampa Bay team, they're 2-12. But they have always been very solid on defense. Difficult to run against. They place their ends wide in the manner of the Washington Redskins. And this team, remember, despite its feeble year this year thus far, has been in the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. More on that later.
2 wide receivers, Jefferson, Lofton, up at the top of your screen. They're deadly, as is the tight end, Kaufman. Third and 4. Dickey trying to get the ball to Jefferson. He was picked up, covered smartly out there by Jeremiah Castile. That will bring up a fourth down, and for Jan Stenerud, excuse me, Don, a chance to equal the all-time NFL record for field goals. That record held by George Blanda at 335. Stenerud has 334. Stenerud in his 17th year. Blanda did it over 26 years. And this will be an attempt at 35 yards. Bucky Scribner, the punter, puts it down. Rubens is the snapper for the Pack. opens the scoring here in Tampa, tying an NFL record held by George Blanda, his 335th career field goal in a remarkable career. We'll be back in Tampa in just a moment. And remarkably, he has kicked at a 66% ratio over 17 years. Blanda set his mark kicking a little over 52%.
Really is amazing, Frank. Unbelievable record.
Garcia marks it. And Michael Morton, 5'8", 180-pounder, rips over the left side and hurdles his body out over the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Stenerud, you talk about his percentage of not completions, like, well, anyway, his accuracy, but he's actually attempted 132 fewer attempts than Blanda did to tie that record, so that really is a remarkable record.
As great as he is, he still lives with the memory, and certainly Hank Stram does, and there's what we were talking about, listed in that graphic. The way Hank Stram does. Here's the call.
Penalty decline. First down.
When Stenerud missed that relative chippy against Miami, and Miami went to the Super Bowl instead of Kansas City.
Well, there's always those, it's either half full or half empty. On the half empty side, he's kicked a lot of good field goals.
He sure has.
From the 22-yard line, first down and 10 the Bucs. They turned it over on their very first possession. Carver stacked up on the left side, and Green Bay, you can see already playing with gross intensity tonight. We told you the meaning to them of this game. They just must win tonight, and they must win again next week in Chicago.
And despite the absence of Walder, you'll note that Tampa Bay will emphasize the running game because that running game has improved dramatically in recent games. The same way Thompson has improved dramatically in recent games.
Pick up at 3. It'll be second down and 7. The ball just over the 25-yard line of the Bucs. Thompson puts everyone in the pattern, fires it out to Carver, and Carver has first down yardage up near the 35-yard line. Hit there by George Cumby. We talked about the injuries, and believe me, we hear it all year long, but I'll tell you, they have really been hit here in Tampa over the course of the year.
Wilder probably is one of the, Wilder was the guy they were building their offense around, but you look throughout all of it, offense, defense, these guys are questionable. That means they've been hurt and are maybe playing a little bit tonight. Leroy Selman is the guy they can't, and he's the real heart of that. He's been hurt, had a groin injury.
Playing hurt tonight on first down and 10. Carver, right side. And good opening out behind blockers is Carver for a gain to the 40-yard line, a pickup of 6. It'll be second down and 4. Mike Douglas defensively for Green Bay.
Carver has had a fumbling problem this year, but he impressed us. Remember last year, Frank, the young man from Las Vegas, Nevada? Or Nevada, Las Vegas, if you prefer.
Either way.
All right.
I like it. Either way.
They've had to juggle their personnel. We talked about the injuries. Carver can play both fullback and tailback. James Owens, another tailback. He is playing with a sore knee tonight. Bobble the ball. That was Adger Armstrong. They get it back. Loss of about a half a yard. It'll be third down and a long 4 for Tampa Bay.
You look at Tampa, and I guess one of the real great cliches of all time is, why doesn't this team win more? And it's just that ball was right in the middle. Couldn't hold on to it. Armstrong comes back. He did recover his fumble. But you look back through the year, and you can always take out 2 or 3 plays of each game and turn that thing around.
That's true in spite of the injuries and in spite of the loss of Williams. They had Pittsburgh beaten. Kevin House now playing brilliantly. Dropped one wide open that would have won the game.
Dallas also.
Exactly.
Third down and 4. The ball at the 40-yard line. And Thompson is back.
Good catch. One-handed. All right. I like that. That's fun.
One-handed up close to a first down.
Same old gripe. He didn't get into first down territory.
Armstrong coming out of the backfield.
But I tell you, this ball was thrown where he didn't have a chance to get in first down. Armstrong's the guy coming out of the backfield. Nobody putting any pressure on him. The ball's thrown way out. He couldn't have gotten that first down. He just did a heck of a job to catch it.
You're right.
About maybe a foot, maybe 2 feet short of the first down. They're going to bring out the markers to make the measurement. It does appear to be short, and that would bring up fourth down. There's Adger Armstrong, cut at the beginning of the year by the Houston Oilers and picked up when the Bucs got in running back trouble.
We saw a couple of fourth down calls.
Yeah, I was just
yesterday.
thinking that.
You were? That's what I was thinking.
Without the tension involved tonight, of course, but for Green Bay, yes.
Well, you listen to the crowd. You say, go, go, go. You don't go do that. And I think the fan, and oftentimes the players, really say, oh, look, we can make the fourth down. We saw two of them attempted yesterday in Washington and Dallas. Neither one of them made it. But you would think that Tampa would certainly go for it.
I would think at 2 and 12.
Yeah, I would
absolutely.
think so.
So Thompson stays in. And speaking of yesterday's game, congratulations to the Redskins. I don't know, are there any disbelievers remaining? Douglas will tell you there are not.
That's a muscle team, those Redskins. Both offensive and defensive line. Sheer muscle.
And beautifully coached. Fourth down, a little more than a yard. Carver.
He got it.
Over the top, and it appeared that he did pick it up.
You talk about the Redskins and the muscle and so forth. We have a young fella playing for the Bucs today, Sean Farrell from Penn State. He gives a lot of credit to the success for Washington to their strength or conditioning coach, Scotty Dan Riley. And he says, you look at them, and they're just so strong. They've got terrific strength, and maybe that's true.
So does Sean, and he knows a lot about that. Young man from West Hampton Beach and Penn State.
We're going to bring out the sticks. It does appear, though, they have first down yardage. Tampa Bay, I mentioned a beautiful night tonight. Temperature in about 50 degrees. Had some violent thunderstorms in here last evening. This is natural turf. And as you can see, the Bucs get a roar from a crowd. And the crowd, they expected some 50,000 in an 80,000 seat stadium. And one would speculate it might even be more than that. First down, Tampa Bay. The ball resting just over their 44-yard line. Wide receiver, Kevin House, the dangerous one, number 89. He alternates with Carter and Bell. That one deflected, and Thompson trying to get it to Kevin House.
House was open, Frank. It was a little quick slant-in pattern. Awfully difficult pattern to cover, but it was knocked down. Who knocked it down? I didn't see. One of the big linemen?
Very active linebackers. John Anderson was out there.
This is going to be good.
Coming up at halftime, I'll be talking with Sugar Ray Leonard live. He'll be in our Washington studios. It's very kind of him to come because he's been at the hospital all day with his wife, Juanita, who's ill.
Second down and 10, Tampa Bay. Andrew Armstrong over the left side struggles for a couple. They'll bring up a third down and 8 for Jack Thompson.
Sugar says he's not making a comeback. I'm back, he says.
Well, we'll see.
Against the 49ers last week, Jack Thompson had his best game of his career. Of course, he had the prior 3 years with Cincinnati, but against the 49ers, he was something. 25 of 46, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, a pair of interceptions, however. And the 49ers, of course, scoring 5 touchdowns on the ground against the Bucs. Third and 7, Thompson has to throw it away as he was under tremendous pressure. Dwayne Osteen, who was with Tampa Bay at the beginning of this year and is now with Green Bay, was back there and had a possible shot at an interception.
You're right. Thompson had no choice. He had to just unload the ball. The key point John McKay made to me in a long meeting I had with the coach yesterday was that in recent games they've been giving Thompson some protection. Didn't do it there.
Frank Garcia, the leader in the NFC. The punter, Phil Epps, is the man the pack likes to have receive the punts. Garcia hangs it up high. Fair catch is called for the 22-yard line and executed by Phil Epps. So Green Bay leading 3-0. Will have the football back at their own 22-yard line. 7:53 remaining in the first. Green Bay, they met earlier in the season. It was a rout. Green Bay winning that one as Dickey threw 3 touchdown passes, 55-14, setting an NFL record 49 points in the first half. Green Bay has a first down and 10 from the 23-yard line. Gary Ellis works to the right side and a swarming defense, a loss of 2. It'll be second down and 12.
The Pack has been an up-and-down team this year, peaks and valleys. I asked Coach Bart Starr why the inconsistency all year.
we've had some injuries, we've had some distractions. We simply haven't played as well as we could have played with whom we're playing on a number of occasions. Had we would have played much better throughout the year. For example, a week ago, I thought we played extremely well against a very talented Chicago Bear team, which has really been surging in recent weeks. And our defense did a great job. But we haven't done that consistently. And you know yourself that the defense is the bedrock of your football team. And when they play well, we seem to play much better as a football team.
And defensively, the Bucs were up to that effort. They hold Jesse Clark to a gain of about a yard and a half. Third down, long yardage for Green Bay, who has been very proficient on third and long, possibly due to the strong arm of Glenn Dickey and the ability to get it out to Jefferson and Lofton.
On the first play of this series, you saw exactly what I was talking about earlier, how they play their ends wide and how Green Bay couldn't turn the corner on it.
Dickey back, hit protection, a lot of time. Fires underneath and is complete. Gary Ellis out of the backfield, short of the first down, up near the 30-yard line, and the Bucs defense swarming tonight. That was Mike Meade, by the way, coming out of the backfield.
It's kind of an unusual call, Frank, because you need 10 yards to go. You got Meade coming out of that. Circle back usually is pretty good, or you know he's going to be good 5, maybe 6 yards, something like that, but usually not 10. Picked up about 8 that time. I think what Bart said it's not an old cliche, but it basically is true. He's been hurt defensively. They've not been able to stop anybody, so they've done some things offensively that maybe they wouldn't do if they had a good defensive team.
That's an understatement. They have not been able to stop anyone. We'll get into the numbers a little later on. That was Bucky Scribner hitting the ball to Theo Bell. He takes it to the 25 and is drilled at the 24, taken back to the 23. And when you speak of that Green Bay defense, they're last overall in the NFL. 13th against the rush in the conference, 12th against the pass, and they have given up an average of 413 yards a game. Yard line, the Bucs down by 3, 5:45 remaining in the first quarter. Owens and Armstrong, the setbacks. Owens playing with a very sore knee, up for about 2.5 to 3 yards. We'll call it second down and 7.
So, except for one series, they continue to run on first down. Carver, the principal carry up to this point. Frank mentioned what Green Bay did to Tampa Bay the last time around. 49 points, a record in one half. That's enough to give John McKay and his team motivation tonight.
Second down, 7. Thompson, and feeling a little bit of pressure, but he fires over the middle. And they're saying incomplete. Jim Obradovich, the tight end, who has seen a lot of duty over the past few weeks with the knee injury to Jimmy Giles. But again, there were Packers right in front of his face, Don.
Yeah, but he should have had it. Look at that. See, he on his back, but the ball was on the inside. He just kind of stripped it on the inside.
He's been around. Giants, Niners.
That's the key little statistic right there, because I'm very good. You know, I'm into facts and figures and things like that. But if you only make 20% of your third downs and 7, there can be a lot of folks that score against you. You're not going to score a lot. See, I'm good with numbers. I'm good with numbers.
Thompson back. He picks it up on the ground out over the 35-yard line. Jack Thompson, a big 6'3", 215-pounder.
Nicely done, Jack.
You have to do that every now and then. And I don't care even if they say you're not one of your scrambling quarterbacks or your mobile quarterbacks. If you don't do that, then they just don't really pay any attention to you at all. And I've just been told this is the longest run of his year. His longest run of the year.
He's not noted as a scrambler, never has been.
But that
was nicely done.
Yeah.
First down out over the 35-yard line. Thompson doesn't like it. Decided the personnel was wrong. And he uses a timeout, and we'll move over to discuss surprising crowd here in Tampa Bay for a 12-2 team. Right now, the Green Bay Packers have a 3-0 lead. 4:22 remaining in the first quarter, and a first down and 10 on the run of Jack Thompson, the quarterback for the Bucs at their own 36-yard line. Thompson back again, play action. Strong arms it, no way, and picked off. Mark Lee reading it all the way, and a flag is down.
No way.
Coming down with the football, the intended receiver, Kevin House, and Mark Lee reading it all the way, laying well back.
Frank, there's just no way you're going to complete a pass like that. I mean, it's a zone defense, or at least a loose coverage. They're back with him the whole way. He threw the ball when the defensive man was about 5 yards
Pass interference.
Okay, good.
Number 89, offense. Penalty decline. First down.
Good choice.
The referee tonight is Jerry Seaman and his crew, and it was Markley all the way. He was reading it. Thompson hung it up high.
It's just, you know, maybe it's the frustration of a long season and you want to kind of air it out. But you can see right there, there's absolutely no way that defense is going to allow any kind of a deep completion.
And you can see how accurate the call was. The flag will come in because Kevin House knew the ball was going to be intercepted and tried to prevent it, and thus the offensive interference. Skip.
At the 11-yard line, first down, Green Bay. And off on the inside, Barry Ellis. That's about 2 yards. That'll bring up a second down and 8. There's Markley, the cornerback, his third interception of the year. Second-round pick in 80 and became a starter instantly for the Pack. Second and 8, Lofton split to the right by the Pack up at the top of your screen, having a tremendous year, James Lofton.
Good move.
To Clark, and Clark is rained on by the nose tackle David Logan. There's a loss all the way back to the 8-yard line.
And those three guys you see right there, potentially, they're terrific football players. Leroy Selman, Logan, Cannon, David Cannon out of Pittsburgh.
And on the outside, one of the great ones ever to come into this game, Hugh Green. He's been playing hurt with a sore hamstring.
They tell a story, Frank, about him playing with his eye closed out in San Francisco. He got kind of an infection. As McKay said, this game's not supposed to be played with one eye.
An even better story in the game against St. Louis, which we'll get to.
Third down long. Huckleby is a single setback, and Dickey is back. Has the time, throws underneath. Taken by Gary Lewis, far short of the first down, and the Bucs fans have something to cheer about. Scott Brantley covering Gary Lewis across the middle, and now Bucky Scribner will have to punt. Deep in his own territory, the Bucs should have good field position.
On 2 third-down situations, we've seen Green Bay complete passes that have been short of that necessary yardage, and it is right, Howard. You know, you don't, if you're going to complete it, you try to complete to get that first down.
The reason I'm quite sure is that they are doubling up both outside men. They are not going to let Lofton beat them deep as he's beaten so many teams. Jefferson, of course, has that potential to go deep. So Green Bay is taking what has been given. That's the underneath routes. They're not paying off. Scribner, the left-footed kicker, puts it up high. This is Theo Bell from the 42-yard line. And good coverage by the Pack as Bell gets a yard on the return, but nevertheless, Tampa Bay has good field position. They'll have a first down at 10 near their own 43-yard.
McKay, clearly his most disappointing season, and yet faced with the task of motivating this team at 2-12. How does he do it?
Well, I'll motivate him on the last game we played when we got beat up pretty badly. We're a little healthier now than we were there. We're still kind of a bunged-up football team. We hope to have Leroy Selman ready to play. I just say hope, 10% that he'll be able to play. Up until that game, we had always played Green Bay well and most of the time won. So we're going in with a feeling that we can win the game. Maybe right after the kickoff, I'll say wrong again. But we think we have an excellent chance.
John McKay, who came here in 1976 after 4 national championships and 16 years at USC. This has been a tough year for him. You saw Melvin Carver get 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6 for the Bucs. The ball at their own 47-yard line.
He was right. He needs Selman.
Carver again. And Carver running strongly to midfield. Gain of perhaps 3. It'll bring up a third down and 3. Hit there first by Ezra Johnson.
Man can run with the ball. He's good. His problem, you almost saw it there. He's been fumbling, giving up the ball a lot.
Alvin Carver, a free agent, came up a year ago out of the University of Nevada at Las Vegas. But the man they missed, of course, and we've touched on it already, James Wilder, who's having a sensational year until he broke those ribs against Cleveland 4 weeks ago.
That's Smarts.
Johnson rolling out.
Good catch. Oh, yeah.
Off to Adger Armstrong. The blitz was on. That means 2 people in the defense, and Armstrong barrels down inside the 10-yard line before Johnny Gray makes the stop.
What a great
effort by Thompson.
What a great example of having the right play for the right defense. They were going to blitz a safety from the left side. Thompson rolls to his right. Nobody's there to block, but Armstrong gets out. He's getting good pressure. Good reaction by Thompson. And watch old Adger run.
Yeah, he can catch the football. That was another almost one-handed.
That's right, it was. That was Armstrong earlier.
We saw one earlier. And time has run out of the first quarter. And the Bucs, with a big play, have moved down to a first and goal position against the Green Bay. Tampa Stadium, they'll host the Super Bowl here on January the 22nd. Seats 80,000.
These Flowers love.
72,000, rather. 812. They wished it held 80,000 for the Super Bowl.
At least. 3.
First down, goal to go. The Bucs have the ball at the 9-yard line. Big pickup. Adger Armstrong.
Frank still does a good job, even if we don't pay attention. You know? Look at it. Come on.
Carver down close to the 5-yard line.
Ho, ho, ho.
Gain of 4 by Carver, who is handling the ball mostly on the running offense for the Bucs.
What was it?
Armstrong out of the backfield as a receiver.
Giff, what was it Bart Starr said today at the production meeting? He said, I told Howard yesterday, and it sounds like the old coaches cry, this is a much better team than the record shows, but I mean it. This team can play even with us, and right now they are.
Second down, goal to go. The ball just short of the 5-yard line. Carter in motion. Carver, left side.
Good tackle.
Lowers his head, and down he goes.
Who was that came in the middle? Scott. Whoa, what a good tackle.
Yes, and
Mike
Douglas
who was reinstated this week.
Well, Randy Scott.
Mark Murphy coming up from the free safety.
Randy Scott was the guy that was hurt. Was first game they had, first or second game of the season. They feel they really missed him. And again, talking to Bart, you get those 2 those guys. It was the other guy named Johnson. That was the nose tackle.
Charlie Johnson.
Charlie Johnson.
Now the one they lost was Terry Jones.
Jones, okay, Jones. Jones and Scott, he called them 2 key guys.
Third down, goal to go. No, Thompson, nobody there. Scott. And Randy Scott was out there defensively. It'll bring up a 4th down and decision time for John McKay.
That's a pass you don't want to throw. I mean, if you're reading linebackers from the quarterback standpoint, you can see Scott's out there. He's not going to do anything but hurt his running back.
And we'll watch Bill Capice. As Thompson comes off the field on 4th down, Capice 9 of 21 for the year. He's had 4 holders this season, a pair of centers. Wilson, the man they like to snap, has a broken hand from earlier in the year. And Capice has not had a field goal in the last 4 games.
That's not a happy augury, is it?
Of course, we know that he can kick. He was 18 of 23 in a 9-game season a year ago. 22-yard effort. Flags are everywhere.
He had barely made that one.
As Capice gets it through the uprights, but flags are down.
I know.
Almost
hooked it too much.
All right.
If the penalties...
12 men on the field. Defense.
Well, wait a minute. It wouldn't hurt. They can't make a first down.
We have had so much this year.
Well, I think they want to consider this penalty as a possible way to get the touchdown and negate the field goal. That's the decision that's being discussed right now. The down would remain the same.
Half the distance.
And it would be a 4th down and goal to go at the 2-yard line if they take the penalty and forget the 3 points.
Now, that would be an interesting call.
I think, John, I thought I saw him nod and say he's going to go for it.
Well, you usually
Here's
don't want...
Terry Seaman.
12 men on the field. Defense. Penalty will be accepted on the succeeding pickup. The extra point, or the field goal, is good.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Well, it remains tied at 3. They decline the penalty and take the 3-pointer. For Green Bay, Bill Capice set to kick off. The penalty, after being declined, was attached to the next play, and they will now kick from the 40-yard line. Capice puts it up high. Tim Lewis. And the rookie first-round draft pick from Pittsburgh out to the 18-yard line, where Hassan Abuk Baka makes the stop.
All right, let's have a look at the first quarter stats. First downs, Tampa Bay 4, Green Bay none. Look at the way Tampa Bay has stopped the rush
And the pass.
Total domination in statistics, 2 turnovers, edge in possession time, but the score 3-3.
What was the 2 turnovers? I remember an interception. What was the other one?
An interception. Gary Ellis. This time dropped for a loss of a yard. Booker Reese in there defensively for the Bucks.
2 interceptions, right. One of them was like a long punt, though, wasn't it? You get a feeling when you watch this Tampa defense that they're either playing very well or that offense hasn't gotten uncorked yet.
Which is what John McKay was counting on this early in the game when he did not accept the penalty down there and elected to take the kick.
But you don't agree with that call, right?
Not if I'm 2-12. I personally don't, but John McKay, I've known for 30 years. I go with him.
Well, that'll way to go.
Second down and 11. Huckleby is the single setback. 2 tight ends are in, Kaufman and Gary Lewis.
They got to get some.
And Dickey fires a shot that Gary Lewis collects, but only for a gain of about 4 yards as Mark Cotney defensively was right there, the strong safety.
I don't understand the patterns.
No, I don't either. They should be hitting the tight end in the middle. They're double covering the wide receivers, as we've noted.
Friday we'll be in Miami. The Jets get it on with Miami down there, and then we'll be going right out to San Francisco, where Dallas and the 49ers, and of course Dallas having already clinched 1 wild card. San Francisco playing for both, perhaps for both the division or a wild card opportunity. They're down at 5. Then Dickey looks it over. And fires out of the backfield. Once again, underneath as the Bucks are laying way off of Lofton and Jefferson.
How many times do you see when they got the 3-man defensive line, if they're not able to put pressure on it, they're going to have somebody open after a while. Nobody's really pressured Lynn so far, but he has thrown some relatively short patterns, and Green Bay is basically known for that long ball. They throw that thing up. They've got the Loftons and Jeffersons and all those guys that can get really deep. They got to put a little pressure on him.
First down 10. The Pack at the 32-yard line. Jefferson in motion. Dickey tries to get it to Lofton quickly. Had to throw it behind him because Scott Brantley, the linebacker, reading it very quickly, it stepped right in front of the pattern that Lofton was trying to make. Remind you once again at halftime, we'll be talking live. Howard will be talking from here in Florida to Sugar Ray Leonard, who has announced his comeback intentions. And you'll hear it from Sugar Ray, who will be live in our studio in Washington at halftime. 32-yard line. Second down and 10. That could be down to Gary Ellis. Gary Ellis, dangerous runner when he gets that football and that little short pass either in the flat or over the middle, and he gets a Green Bay first down out near the 45-yard line.
Had a simply tremendous game, Gary Ellis did last week against the Bears.
He's really taken up the slack from the loss of Eddie Lee Ivory, who is out of action with a non-football illness. This is Gary Ellis on the year coming into tonight, 670 yards rushing and 48 receptions into tonight. Green Bay with the first down out over their 45-yard line. The game tied at 3, 10:24 remaining in the first half. Jesse Clark, the rookie from Arkansas, held for a couple. It'll be second down and 8. Leroy Selman there first defensively for Tampa Bay. Jesse Clark has been a Packer that's been in trouble. He's had that new type of injury called a turf toe that came in, of course, with the synthetic carpets that they play on so much around the NFL. And it hurts him, obviously. Second down and 8. Dickey back once again.
A screen pass. Good.
Screen off.
Nicely done.
Meade. And a beautiful touch by Dickey because he had to loft that over a defender, just getting it to Meade, and Meade ambles all the way down to the 31-yard line of the Bucks. Let's look again.
He called it really well, Frank. They put a couple of linebackers in the pattern that time. You saw 51 coming in. The ball was just laid up right over the top. Not a bad move. Ed Judy was the guy, the linebacker that came in there. And if the linebackers doesn't pick up those screens, you've got to pick it up with the next wave of defense, and that's the secondary.
This is a marked contrast to the first quarter. Green Bay with its first sustained drive.
The first down is near Tampa Bay's 31-yard line. Dickey on a quick down, back, tries to get another screen, middle screen.
Is it intercepted?
And this one's picked off, I believe.
We can't rush.
We have control of it. It's Booker Reese who almost intercepted the last screen pass. This one he does get. Booker Reese in his second year out of Bethune-Cookman, playing like the Bucs thought he would play when they took him in the second round, which was really a first-round draft pick because the Bucs traded their first pick to Chicago for their second pick 2 years ago.
It's the third screen pass they've thrown in four plays. You'd think they might mix it up a little bit. Didn't fool anybody that time.
So the Bucs turn back the Packs with the interception by Booker Reese, and they have held on Meredith. Game tied at 3, 9:33 remaining in the first half. The Bucs and the Packers in a game the Packs must win. First down and 10, Tampa Bay at their own 34. Carver.
Had he been able to stay on his feet, he had a pretty good hole that time. Carver kind of committed a little too soon. He could have picked up 4 or 5 more yards.
And you knew that he knew it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Quick word about Booker Reese of Bethune-Cookman, the man who made the intercept just a moment or so ago. When they drafted him number 2, as Frank said, really their first-round draft choice, they knew he had super talent. What he hadn't had was, at that stage of his life, proper coaching. Now you can see he's getting it, and he's improving rapidly.
Second down and 8. Thompson. Under pressure, and Mike Douglas gets his 6th sack of the season.
Go Mad Dog. Go Mad Dog.
Actually, it was George Cumbie coming on the inside. We give you replays, and maybe you'd like to see how we do it. This is our truck with our director, our producer, our TD. This is another truck with 6 videotape recording machines. Now, they have recorded the action you just saw a moment ago. When they get the word, they have a freeze frame. Our producer says, let it go, and this is what you get.
That's good. I like that. It was not Mad Dog, it's right. It was George Cumbie. Yeah.
They have good linebackers, the Green Bay Packers.
That's when we have replays.
There was a loss of 6. It'll be 3rd down and 14. Thompson. Badger Armstrong, and Armstrong comes up with another reception and gets a lot of it back. Short of the first down, out over the 40-yard line, however.
But not enough. May I just add, Frank, the current head coach at Bethune-Cookman is our old friend, number 66, Larry Little. And he's got some staff working with him. And the coaching is there. Now,
well, there's Garcia and drops. There he is, Phillips. 90-yard punt return for a touchdown in that 55-14 route. The first time these two teams met this year. Phillips with great world-class speed.
Nice punt.
Great punt by Garcia, and Epps forced to make the fair catch, which he executes at the 13-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10. And Detroit will be facing this Tampa Bay team, so they can do a little scouting tonight. They have them on Sunday. Green Bay, of course, they know they must win, and they must win next week. Fired. Dickey complete over the middle.
Danny Spradlin.
Danny Spradlin making his first start defensively. He was there against Paul Kaufman after Kaufman gets about 5 up near the 19-yard line.
I've been waiting for them, Dandy, to throw to Kaufman right in the middle.
I think that they will more and more.
Don't forget, we showed you this at the top of the telecast. Pack can make the playoffs. They win tonight, win Sunday, and the Bucs defeat the Lions Sunday, or the Rams defeat the Saints. So the Pack is alive.
Second down, long 4, play action by Dickey. That locked him wide open. Now 2 flags are down. You'll have what appears to be a holding flag, but there's also a flag that has been thrown downfield. Lim Dickey is now just a few yards short of becoming the 4th player to throw for 4,000 yards in a season.
Remarkable quarterback.
Well, we'll do this one over again. Dickey right now needs 16 yards.
Holding, number 54, offense. Holding, number 53, defense, offsetting penalties.
Larry McCarron holding for Green Bay. It was Hugh Green holding for Tampa Bay. And 16 yards now for Dickey. And Dan Fouts threw for 4,000 yards twice. Dan Fouts holds the NFL record of 4,802 yards. And Joe Namath did it first to 4,007, and then Brian Sipe also has a 4,000-plus season. Dickey is about to join elite company. Second down and 5. Mike Mead stacked up, hit at the line of scrimmage, might have got a yard out of it. Scott Brantley and Dave Logan defensively for Tampa Bay. And staying up to date, Bill Kinney of Kansas City has also a 4,000-yard season. He pulled that off yesterday in a remarkable season for that youngster.
It's amazing. You look at those guys who talk about throwing those yards, and you wonder where their teams finished, and none of them really ever finished right there at the top.
It's true.
And they probably won't.
That's true.
Yeah, I know it's true.
Got to have a balanced attack.
I speak not with forked tongue.
No.
Time remaining in the half, 3rd down and 4. Dickey is back once again. Kaufman has first down yardage over the 25. He'll mark it close to the 27. First down, Green Bay. A reminder this Saturday, ABC's Wide World of Sports coming to you at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, 4 o'clock Central. The WBA World Bantamweight Championship. Jeff Chandler against Oscar Munoz. That'll be live from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Now, they've met once before. Munoz, the unknown challenger, won a 10-round split decision, giving Chandler his only professional loss. Now they're going to meet for the Bantamweight Championship of the world. Also, you see the World Rhythmic Gymnastics Championship from France. ABC's Wide World of Sports this Saturday. First and 10, Green Bay. Taking back inside is Gary Ellis. Had a nice pickup up close to the 35-yard line. Ellis with a 7-yard gain will be second down and 3. Gary Ellis, they really needed him when Eddie Lee Ivory was unable to continue his season. Gary Ellis injured much of last year, but he's playing back to the season he had in '81 when he had 65 receptions and 860 yards rushing. He is approaching those marks this year. Second down, 3, and Jesse Clark is hit solidly. Hugh Green, and the crowd loves this youngster down here, the great former All-American from Pittsburgh.
They've got some players.
Quickly, Frank, my story about Hugh Green as you look at that play again from the end zone. Against the St. Louis Cardinals earlier this year. Bucks trailing by 2 touchdowns. Green not playing, severely pulled groin muscle. He limped into the game. McKay screamed at him, no, you're out today, you're out. He was in for 1 play, picked off a pass, hobbled 32 yards for a touchdown, and McKay says, that's Hugh Green.
3rd down and 6. Dickey slips, struggles, gets the ball off towards.
And a flag drops late.
And a flag goes down.
Yep. Interference on defense.
Mike Mead was the receiver coming out of the backfield. Dickey under pressure. Here's the call by Jerry Seaman.
Close call.
Interference. Number 53, defense.
Thank you, Jerry.
First down.
Hugh Green just made a big play a few moments ago. We'll look at it one more time.
You're going to see Lynn slip when he comes back. That was just a slip. Nobody hit him. Got up to throw late. There were folks around.
First down is at the 39-yard line. Dickey play action. Gets a shot, and it's complete to Gary Lewis. Gary Lewis down near the 40-yard line of the Bucks. And the Bucks now have taken Booker Reese out. He apparently injured, and they have John Cannon at defensive left end. Booker Reese was having a fine game. He has been shaken up. John Cannon's in there playing on a very sore ankle, and we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
This is WAOW, TV9 in Wausau.
Cannon wears number 78. They're tied at 3 with Tampa Bay in the game. The Green Bay Packers must win tonight to stay alive for playoff possibilities. 3:15 remaining in the first half. First and 10. Dickey pump fakes one way, gets it to Gary Lewis, who could have handled that ball at the 10-yard line. Had to stretch his 6'5" frame out considerably for it, but it was one he could have caught.
interesting pass pattern in that over on the left side, before you see this particular pattern, they had Lofton coming back faking one of those short screens. That ball was almost in there. Not quite, as they always can say, was it a little lower, hit it between the 8 and 1, maybe he would have caught it.
A remarkable record. He also has 30 touchdowns coming into the night. The NFL record there is 6.
36.
Second down and 10. 36, rather. Gary Ellis struggled for a couple of yards to the 37-yard line.
Who has that record? Is that Y.A.?
Y.A. and George Blanda both threw 36 touchdown passes. Y.A. in 63, Blanda in 61.
Oh, that's ugly. And I think basically uncalled for.
Third down and 7. The Bucs putting up a fine defensive showing.
I'd look for Coffin.
The left, get up the top of your screen. Dickey. Touchdown. Jefferson. Or Phillips, rather. The speedster, the second-year man from TCU, and a flag is down. There are a pair of flags down.
I think I saw one holding on the left
I
tackle.
did too, but it's a shame.
Holding
really.
Green Bay. I'll bring it back.
Good route by Epps, Frank. He used his speed perfectly that time.
Marvelously thrown ball.
Certainly was.
How Lynn Dickey has developed patience through the years that he didn't used to have. He'd release too soon.
You know, I think one of the things Frank mentioned earlier, too, that Lynn has had a relatively injury-free season, and when you check his career, he's not had very many of those.
Only one prior to this year. Here's the call.
Holding, number 64, offense, penalty decline. Holding, number 67, offense, accepted.
Kitson, the right guard. He's to the right of your screen. Swanke up at the left side. We don't know whether you'll see that. You definitely see Kitson tackling his man.
Yeah, I saw both of them.
Good call. They bring it back. The penalty puts the Packers at Tampa Bay's 46-yard line. It'll be third down and 17.
You got to get a lot closer for O'Yan.
Epps again, top of your screen. Jefferson in the slot. Packers can deploy great receivers. Lofton was the intended receiver. Lofton covered well by John Holt.
Yep, not open.
Fourth down. And once again, the Bucs defense is up to the task.
For a 2-12 team, these fans here sure are still behind them.
It was a tough year to go through. They lost their first 9 games before they knocked off Minnesota. And then a couple of weeks ago, they took the measure of Houston. Just their 12-2 record. Bucky Scribner. He's flanked by Andre Tyler and John Holt. Theo Bell is. Nice man. Dwayne Osteen was guessing with it down there, and he could have killed it at the 1, but it took a definite Tampa Bay bounce. And we have the 2-minute warning. And the Bucs, it had gone down to 2 minutes, and while we were away, they put 2 seconds back on it. So we are approaching the 2-minute warning. First down and 10. The Bucs at their own 20-yard line.
Ain't it funny how time slips away?
High, out of bounds, incomplete. Carter, the intended receiver, he was covered smartly by Mark Lee. And that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. We're tied at 3. And we can't remind you too often, it's a game the Green Bay Packers must win. We'll be talking to this man, Sugar Ray Leonard, live at halftime on his plans for the future. We'll be back in Tampa in just a hard-hitting defensive game and a well-played defensive game on the part of the Bucs. Right now we're tied at 3, and Tampa Bay has the football. First down and 10 at their own 20-yard line, or rather second down and 10. As we're down to 1:58 remaining in the first half. The Bucs have 2 timeouts remaining. They had to waste one earlier when Jack Thompson did not apparently like the personnel that was in the huddle with him when the play was sent in. Carver runs nicely out to the 24-yard line. A gain of about 3. It'll be second down and 7. John Anderson defensively there for Green Bay.
It kind of figures that this would be a Monday night because coming into the night, more points have been scored in Green Bay Packer games than any games played by the NFL teams.
But not tonight.
Well, yeah, they've been averaging 57.4 points in Packers' first 14 games. And 6 points tonight. The league average is like 43, 44.
A lot of paradoxes tonight. The Green Bay Packers have given up more yardage than any other team in the NFL this season. And Tampa Bay has produced the fewest yards.
Look out, Jack.
Thompson underneath. Carver.
Good move, Carver. First down.
Carver gets the first down out to the 40-yard line.
And a big first down because with Dickey and those great receivers and timeouts available, they could quickly get to Stenerud territory.
And the Bucs call timeout. They have one remaining. We'll be back after this announcement brought to you by the Green Bay Packers. Great receiver James Lofton and, of course, the National Football League. Fine effort by Carver. Gets a first down for the Bucs at their own 41-yard line. 1:08 remaining in the half. The score tied at 3, and the Bucs down to one timeout. Kevin House, the dangerous receiver for the Bucs. He's at the top of your screen. Thompson is back. It's a screen off Armstrong.
Armstrong catches everything with one hand, doesn't he?
It looks that way.
And he struggles to a gain of 8 yards. It'll be second down and 2. Mark Lee defensively there for Green Bay. And Thompson, of course, has an extra play called in the huddle. Going with the hurry-up offense, trying to conserve that one timeout they have remaining.
They realistically need about another 20 yards, too, for Capiz to be in there. Look out, kid.
And hit hard. Down goes Thompson, and there's a scramble for the ball. The Bucs get it back. Skogstad was in there. Ezra Johnson was in there.
Good bounce for the Bucs.
What a break.
Yeah.
They would have been virtually in Stenerud territory already with that if the Pack had recovered.
Comes back.
Ezra Johnson is having a great year.
That was one of those that was not a pass. That was the fumble. Roll over. Good hustle by the Bucs coming in there. Ezra almost covered himself.
Losses all the way back, close to the 35-yard line. It'll bring up a third down and 16, and the crowd doesn't like it. The Bucs let the clock run out at halftime.
That was a good idea, though.
Teams are leaving the set to go for the second half. A remarkable change from the first meeting as we look at Harlan Huckabee waiting the kickoff of Bill Capiz. In the first half of their first meeting, Green Bay had scored 49 points. They have 3 tonight. Tampa Bay, they have some folks back. Much healthier ball club has taken the field tonight, and a determined ball club. Green Bay must win tonight, and they must win next week in Chicago. A loss by the Packers tonight, and Detroit has clinched the NFC Central Division. Capiz approaches the ball. Short kick. Tim Lewis. And the rookie #1 draft pick for Green Bay out of Pittsburgh works up to the 30-yard line. Tackled by Lowry. And out comes the Green Bay offensive unit. Lynn Dickey in the first half. 10 of 15, 98 yards. He had the 1 interception. Dickey also went over 4,000 yards to become the 5th player now that Bill Kenny has done it with Kansas City to accomplish that feat in the NFL. Joe Namath, of course, first one to do so. He did it in a 14-game season at 4,007. First down and 10 Green Bay. Jefferson in motion. Dickey moves the ball, but quickly sprawls on it, but there will be a loss of about 4 yards.
All right, let's
Take a look at the numbers from the first quarter, and then we'll switch them over to halftime.
Right, Giff. In the first quarter, as we previously told you, Tampa Bay clearly dominated, but not in the scoring. And at the half, the figures had been reversed to, in effect, evened out by Green Bay with an edge in passing yards, still a deficit in rushing yards. First downs virtually even. And there you see time of possession virtually even.
Green Bay, of course, had 1 touchdown shot called back to Phillips by Dickey. Holding. And we remain tied at 3. Second down, 14. Huckabee on the screen. And Huckabee up over the 35-yard line. It'll put Green Bay and Lynn Dickey in a 3rd down and 4 situation.
It's a good good call, I think, in a situation like that. A screen pass ordinarily is going to pick up a few little yards. You're in a long passing situation. They didn't try to get it all back that time. They got them in that 3rd and 4 situation now.
Booker Reese remains out of the defensive alignment for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. John Cannon replaced him in the 2nd quarter after he was shaken up. John Cannon, number 78, playing on a very sore ankle. 3rd down and 4. Jefferson in motion once again.
He's open, too.
Dickey, Jefferson, and Jefferson will have the 1st down close to the 45-yard line. And once again, the Pack forced to go underneath as the defensive unit at Tampa Bay very wary about the deep patterns. And, of course, the Pack with Jefferson and Lofton and even their tight end, Coffin, they can get deep so quickly.
They didn't adjust defensively that time to Jefferson's motion move. He started off in a flanker. Nobody really came in to cover him. He had to come back into a zone of a linebacker to have anybody close to him.
Now Booker Reese is back defensively for Tampa Bay, number 66, defensive left end. Jerry Ellis tries the left side, hit right at the line of scrimmage. He squeaks out perhaps a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Can't run on this team, Giff, quite apparently. Friday night, the Jets against the Dolphins. Next Monday night, the wrap-up of Monday Night Football for this year. The Cowboys against San Francisco.
And Dallas will have known by then the outcome of the Giants-Washington game. Washington still.
That last catch, Frank.
The Giants. That game will be played on Saturday.
A brick here.
And a brick there.
2nd and 9. Dickey, good pass blocking. They pick up the blitz.
Look out, Lenny.
And Dickey taken down.
Danny Spradlin, the former Cowboy, acquired for a draft pick early in the year when the Bucs were troubled at their linebacking position, made the stop.
That catch by Jefferson, by the way, Don, was the first catch by a wide receiver on either team tonight.
Well, that says something, doesn't it? This move by Spradlin was a guy that when Dallas had him, this is his 3rd year in the league, they really thought he was going to be the heir apparent to that middle linebacker there for a while. They tried him at inside, outside. Somehow he didn't quite fit in. Tampa picked him up. He may have a good career here.
3rd down and 11. Green Bay at their own 44-yard line. And Dickey changing things off.
Looks like it, yeah. Here they come in a hurry.
Read the blitz.
Good
the ball to Jefferson. He has the 1st down inside the 45-yard line near the 42-yard line.
That's a good move by Dickey that time. Frank, I think you really did read it right. He was changing the play at the line of scrimmage. They were sending a pressure defense at him. He just got that ball off as quickly as he could. Jefferson was wide open. I like this guy. I think he's such an up sort of a player, man. He really goes in there, and he's for that whole team. He likes to get them all going. And he's not a bad guy to throw to when you're 3rd and 3 coming across the middle.
Bart Starr likes him, too. He loves his whole core of receivers. We may hear from Bart later on that.
At the 42-yard line of the Bucs, the Packers on the move. Game tied at 3, opening moments of the 3rd quarter. Dickey trying to get the ball to Epps. Now flag is down. John Holt was providing the coverage, and they apparently are going to call it against John Holt. We saw him express his anger.
Well, I tell you, Frank, I know we'll look at it again, but that looked awfully close. Holt was making his move, and it's one of those things that he's got to have that reason. You know, he's got to have the right to go for it.
That's Epps up at the top of the screen. And, of course, down at the bottom is on the left side. That's number 83, I believe that is.
That's Lofton, I think, at the bottom, yeah. But you see, at the top, now he's in an outside position. He's going for that ball, and Epps runs into him. I guess that's what you call it. I don't know.
I think it's a good call. They cut Epps off from his route to the ball. 1st down and 10, Green Bay at the 22-yard line. Tough to play that cornerback or any defensive back anymore. Crowd still voicing their disapproval as we watch Gary Ellis finds an opening on the right side, and he hammers out close to another 1st down, maybe a half a yard short, hit there by Beasley Reese, coming up from his free safety spot for Tampa Bay. Pack's longest running play of the night.
It's an amazing statistic when you think about it. They only had 11 yards rushing in the 1st half. You've got to have a little little bit better balance than that.
Of course, we brought you that game against the Giants when the Giants blew the Pack away. At the 13-yard line, Ellis loses the football and is covered quickly. Ed Judy, former 49er, also picked up late this year. And he's going to take that ball with him as the Packers were on a move. It started at the 30-yard line, and Tampa Bay gets it back at their own 15. Handoff looked good. Looked like he just knocked it away with his hand.
Looked like he closed a little bit too quick, didn't he?
So Tampa Bay has turned back another Green Bay effort. 10:01 remaining in the third quarter. We remain tied at 3. They must win tonight. They must win next week. And of course, the loss tonight, as I mentioned several times, will put Detroit in as the NFC Central Division champions. Tampa Bay, first down and 10. Carver over the left side, and Carver is hit there promptly by Mike Douglas and George Cumbie.
Cut back when he might have had yardage, going wider.
It was pretty good coverage, though. The defense moved out there in pretty good shape.
Yeah, Green Bay's defense has given up a lot of yardage. We mentioned their last overall in the NFL coming in tonight, but against the Bears last week, they held them to 65-yard rushing, and the Bears have a pretty good running attack with Walter Payton. But teams have been averaging 165 yards against this defense over the season rushing. They too have improved defensively. Second down and 9. Carver ekes out a couple of yards. It'll be third down and 8. John Anderson defensively there for Green Bay, and the Bucs are not known as a third and long team this season.
Quite the converse, as we showed in an earlier graphic. There you see it.
Green Bay, they're up there very high, if not the best in the league on third down and long situations.
3rd and 10, Frank, they're just unbelievable. They hit 32% of their 3rd and 10 situations.
Hard-hitting game. Thompson is back. Third down and 8. Pump fake. He will go down.
Nobody open. Good defense.
Greg Boyd, who comes in as the 4th down lineman, was there for the Pack, and they dropped Thompson back inside the 10-yard line.
Well, sooner or later, unless they can muster some offense, they're going to have to pay the piper. There's a limit even to Green Bay mistakes. That's why Green Bay's been so erratic this year.
Garcia's having a great year leading the NFC. This man, he is electrifying with a tremendous speed. Runs about a 9.300. Has an official clocking in the NCAA championships a couple of years ago of 10-1 for the 100 meters. Garcia will kick from his own end zone. The Green Bay should get it back in good shape. Beautiful punt by Garcia. Takes Epps all the way back to his own 38-yard line. Epps looking for the picket line, taken out of bounds, but he moves out over the 45-yard line near the 47. A 52-yard effort. A front punt by Frank Garcia. And here's the call by Jerry Seaman.
Illegal substitution, number 82, offense. He did not report for an ineligible position.
Oh, boy.
That you can do. That was Jerry Bell coming in. He did not report. And so Green Bay decides they want to give Phil Epps another opportunity. They had a first down at their own 47, which they could have taken. Garcia now standing at the back of the end zone. He puts a foot out. It's a safety. This time, not quite the kick he got before. Green Bay made a good decision, and another flag is down.
Oh, no.
As Epps is down at the 40-yard line. Now there's a flag down right at the goal line.
If they just keep letting them kick, they're going to get that thing down there in field goal position, aren't they? Yeah, that's good.
Holding.
This time Tampa Bay holding. Well, now what do? You've got a first down
I'd decline
at the 40-yard line.
That great field position, decline the penalty.
Garcia trots off the field. He's anticipating it will be declined. And since the Packers have a first down at Tampa Bay's 40-yard line, we suspect it will.
Holding, number 56, offense, penalty decline. First down.
First and 10, Green Bay at the 40-yard line. A reminder, Saturday, college football at its finest here on ABC. It'll begin live at 1:30 Eastern Time. The Division I AA Championship 11-1, Southern Illinois going against Western Carolina. They're 11-2. We'll bring it to you from Charleston, South Carolina, Division I AA at its very best here on NCAA College Football, ABC. Green Bay, and we remain tied at 3. But Green Bay, great field position.
Got to get some points this time.
That's the time remaining in the third quarter.
They're going for it. There's
Dickey.
I'll be darned.
Underthrows the pass to Lofton, picked off by Cotney.
That is really a poor throw. I mean, that's really wild.
I said there had to be a limit, even to Green Bay mistakes, but apparently not.
Green Bay only had 2 receivers down. They had Jefferson running deep. He was double covered. Lofton was double covered.
Yeah,
but Dickey threw it low, he threw it short, and it's picked off by Mark Cotney.
Yeah, but both of them, although they were double covered, there was a space to get that ball. That's almost like getting a hitch and you get along. You see that old ball start turning down, there's no way that thing could get to Lofton.
So Tampa Bay gets another turnover, and they get the football back at the 22-yard line. That was not the Lynn Dickey we have watched much of the season. He had an opportunity to get that ball in there. He wasn't even close, and I'm sure that he knows it better than anyone else. Tampa Bay gets the ball back at their own 22-yard line. First down and 10. We remain tied at 3 here in the third quarter with 7:43 remaining to be played. That's Carter in motion. And the trick toss. This is Carver, who's run well tonight. This time he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Donnie Gray, who will really give you a pop coming up in that strong safety position, made the stop.
Beasley Reese, former Giant, one-time player representative. He's done well for McKay since the Bucks picked him up. Has picked off 5. Not a bad player for him.
I like the way he handled it too. Terry Kennard, the Giants' #1 draft pick, obviously had taken over that position for the Giants. Beasley said, I want out of here. I want to play somewhere. I'm not going to sit on the bench. We've got a second down and 10 for Tampa Bay. Jimmy Giles in the lineup, number 88 to tie it in. Kevin House. And a good defensive play. John Anderson
Stayed at home.
having a great year. Right up there in sacks and 5 interceptions on the year. An academic All-American while he was at Michigan. Very cerebral player, and he was right there, reading it all the way. There's a loss of 4 yards. Tampa Bay now confronted with what we have mentioned several times that they have not been successful with, and that is a third down and long. We have 4 wide receivers in.
I mean, it's long.
Johnson throws it to House, and of course House had hooked up right at the original line of scrimmage. There's a gain of only about 7 yards on that. Far short of the first down. Green Bay and their prevent defense. Mark Lee was the man who was covering Kevin House and was all over him.
We used to call that a percentage of completion pass, trying to build up the stats. 5 yards down the field, give me a little hook.
Garcia on once again. Phillips settles in back at Green Bay's 30-yard line. Garcia, this time a short kick. Epps steps up to the 38 and takes it.
Got a little hole there.
And Epps up close to midfield. They'll mark it somewhere around the 49-yard line. But again,
Good.
fine field position for Green Bay.
Yeah, the Bucks have got to get a little more offense going here. They're going to be back in their end of the field all this quarter.
How about a whole lot of offense going?
About a whole lot of offense for this quarter.
Understatement of the year.
Back in Tampa. Large turnout tonight. They were anticipating some 50,000. It looks to me that they have that plus stadium, which will see the Super Bowl on January 22nd, seats just under 73,000.
And this town is sure excited about that. Anticipation overwhelming.
Lynn Dickey brings up the pack. He's 13 of 19 on the night, 133 yards. Here's Gary Ellis. And Ellis up close to a Green Bay first down near the 41-yard line. He's right on the marker. And
that little flag
chain is right there. And again, we do have a flag down.
Little bitty flag.
First time, really, they've turned the corner.
Well, yes, first.
Ellis's other run was inside.
Yeah.
And they're going to bring it back.
Yeah, it's Green Bay. It is strange. We've said this all year long. You see one team play one week, and the next week you want to know who are those guys. You know, who stole the jerseys this week. But we see Green Bay, we expect a lot of points, and they just haven't been able to generate that offense tonight.
Holding, number 83, offense.
A mistake-ridden team tonight in the manner of their performance on a Monday night against the Giants. That's Douglas.
Got something in his eye.
That holding was by John Jefferson, the wide receiver, who was out trying to get a block. And he got a 10-yard penalty instead. Green Bay now back close to the 39-yard line. Gary Ellis in motion. Dickey whips it out to Jesse Clark.
Look at Jesse go.
And Jesse Clark, fine running, breaks tackles at the 45-yard line, and the rookie from Arkansas playing with a very sore toe has a Green Bay first down before Beasley Reese could make the stop.
The Bucs had some people out there, but they just didn't get in position to make the tackle. Let's look at it again. Just a quick little screen out. He could.
Right there, he should have made the tackle.
Absolutely, man. That's you're going to make that. That's Brantley. Brantley had him for no gain.
Inside the 40-yard line, they mark it. Inside 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter for Green Bay. This is Harlan Huckabee, and he has hit and hit hard. Dave Logan, the nose tackle for Tampa Bay. He is one of 2 players on this team, the other being John Holt, actually on the defensive unit, that have made every start this season.
Tough position, too.
That defense has been out there a long, long time.
Well, the offense on the other side has been out there a long, long time. I hear people say it all the time. Well, the defense has been on the field all week, all day long. Well, so is the offense.
Second down and 8. Lofton to the right, Jefferson to the left.
Why be logical?
Comes the blitz. Dickey spins out of trouble. Tries to get it to Jefferson. The flag.
Oh, no.
Now, I tell you, that's one of those non-catchable balls. If he throws it, if that's for interference on the defense, it's just not fair. They've really taken a lot of stuff away from the defense, and I'm an old offensive player, and I like offense. But you got to let those guys play. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, it wasn't the defense. I knew that.
Green Bay.
It really is. You know, there's rule changes that have been made to increase scoring and whatever, fan interest.
That was a good pickup on the part of the Green Bay. There was a full blitz on.
You know, that wasn't on Jefferson either. Was that Kaufman up there earlier? Who was that on?
Well, we'll listen.
We'll find out.
It's good. Yes.
They're accepting the penalty, naturally.
I think the rule where you can't bump a receiver after he passes 5 yards and allowing the lineman, let's see what he's got to say here. Yes, Jerry?
Pass interference, number 82.
Yes.
Offense.
Kaufman. Yeah, it wasn't Jefferson, it's Kaufman. But allowing the offensive lineman using their hands on blocking. Those are the 2 rules, I think, that have improved the point production more than anything. Open up that passing game.
Green Bay move back to Tampa Bay's 48-yard line.
The offense may be getting tired. You might be right. They got to keep making up the yards they're giving
I've never
away.
understood that. Boy, that defense been on the field all day.
Second down and 19.
They haven't been out there by themselves.
Screen, and this is Jesse Clark.
Not that guy.
And Clark does not break it off this time. Gets inside the 45, where it will put Lynn Dickey in a 3rd and 14 situation. Danny Spradlin over there defensively for Tampa Bay.
Jesse Clark, Frank, deserves a lot of credit. He's been hampered all year with that turf toe and other assorted injuries. Giving a good effort tonight.
He really has, and you can see him when he goes off the field, and even in lining up in his position, he is walking so gingerly. It's a very painful thing. 3rd down, 14. Dickey fires a shot, and a beautiful strike gets it in to Phillips.
Best throw he's had tonight.
No flags. First down, Green Bay near the 20-yard line of Tampa Bay.
Kid Epps can kill you. First came into prominence in a Green Bay Jets game at Shea Stadium.
First came in prominence when the Atlanta Jackrabbits were playing down in East Texas. That's when he first heard about it. But look at it.
We heard about him, Howard, last summer in a preseason game. A 12th-round draft pick he was. And they had been stunned with some of the things that he had done in training camp. You understand it when he runs a 100 meters in 10-1.
World-class speed.
Oh, yeah, no question. Another flag.
12 men on the field. Defense.
They couldn't stop
Penalty
him.
decline.
Wait a
First
minute.
down.
And they couldn't stop the play.
That was your double prevent defense. That
12
again,
men
late-
on the field.
Again, a late flag as they, I guess they're going to have to resort to counting the Buck personnel. First and 10, Green Bay at the 20-yard line. Buck showing blitz once again. This time they make contact and the whistles blow. That'll be a 5-yard assessment. There's Leo Miles, number 35, an old teammate of mine with the Giants, working tonight with Jerry Seaman and his group.
I don't know how you remember.
Encroachment. Defense.
So many years, Frank. How do you go back that far in memory?
He has
a friend of mine.
He has a wonderful mind. Yes. It's very sharp.
Friday night. Don Shula and the Miami Dolphins against the Jets. Unbelievably disappointing year for them. And then Monday, Dallas and San Francisco. And of course, Dallas will be eagerly watching the Washington Redskins-Giants game.
Barry Manilow starting at quarterback for San Francisco.
First down and 5. Jesse Clark once again. And Clark held short of the first down by about a yard. Hit there first by Hugh Green. Getting help from Mike Washington, who was just activated today. The fine cornerback for Tampa Bay. One of the many people that has missed so many weeks of play.
Encroachment penalty, I'm sure, changed a little their offensive philosophy. They have 4 downs to make 5 yards in this situation. You can say, hey, that's the real gift. Let's take advantage of it. Second down and 2, what? 2.5?
It's just me. Green Bay seems so deliberate tonight. So calculating. There's Harlan Huckabee, and he slips.
Didn't make it.
He will lose maybe a half a yard, and it will lead Green Bay in a 3rd down and a long 2, and we could see Jan Stenerud very shortly. Of course, earlier, if you weren't with us, he tied the NFL record of career field goals, held jointly now by Stenerud and George Blanda. 335 over 17 years, most of them, of course, with Kansas City.
Blanda had a comment. He said, hey, they're supposed to be broken. And he says, I don't hope no one's crazy enough to play 26 years anymore. So they ought to do it a little bit quicker.
3rd down. It is a long 2. Oh, no. The Bucs defense does it again. And I just really think the Green Bay is playing a little more cautiously than they have all year.
Either that, and that's probably part of it, but I'm telling you, the Bucs defense played pretty
Terrific.
well. Yeah,
it's
they
a
are.
combination of both.
They had 3 downs, and they made a half yard.
Green Bay is playing scared. Now this could be the record-setting field goal.
Running is not their heavy strength for Green Bay. They were 12th in the conference rushing the football. Here's Jan Stenerud for a record-setting attempt from 32 yards. Bucky Scribner will put it down.
You think he's thinking about the record, Howard?
No.
Right through the middle.
It's good. So Jan Stenerud has done something no one ever has in this game. And the entire
They'll
Green Bay
give him the
team
ball.
comes out to congratulate him.
That's awfully nice.
They'll give him the ball right down the middle.
Remarkable percentage over the years. Jan Stenerud with Kansas City from 67 through 79. They let him go. Came to Green Bay in 80. And he was given the football as a momentum of this occasion. Quite a guy, too.
He really
Very
is.
active in Special Olympics out in his home state of Montana.
Very active in winter sports.
So a record effort by Jan Stenerud, and we'll be back in Tampa in just a moment. And he has been kicking for some 17 years at over 66% accuracy.
Not bad.
Setting a new mark tonight of 336 career field goals. Eddie Garcia will kick off for Green Bay. Michael Morton is deep.
He may run this all the way.
Here comes Morton.
Whoops, let's throw a
And
flag.
goes down. As
Yeah.
Morton goes down.
Sick of those flags.
I understand.
Well, they all either learn to not do it, or they got to straighten that thing out. Surely those guys can't keep making the same thing all the time.
And it's against Tampa Bay. be backed up.
I'm serious. Either that's too difficult a rule for the players to adapt to. I don't understand that.
Illegal block, number 82, receiving team during the return.
Jerry Bell of Tampa Bay. It'll be first down, Tampa Bay at their own 12-yard line. We only have 33 seconds remaining now in the third quarter. Green Bay with a rather precarious 3-point lead in a game they have to win if they're going to stay alive for playoff possibilities. Tampa Bay, by the way, has not had a first down here in the third quarter. Thompson back. Kevin House. They've got one now as House is up to the 25-yard line. We're going to pause 5 seconds and now allow our stations to identify themselves.
This is WAOW, TV9 in Wausau.
George Company made the stop on Kevin House, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, trailing 6-3, have a first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And the final seconds.
Oh, God bless. They got thumped is what happened to them. There was no doubt about that one yesterday. Whoa.
Tampa Bay comes up as we begin the fourth quarter. First down and 10, the 25-yard line of the Bucs. Little or no offense for the Bucs this evening. They just picked up the only first down they got in the third quarter in the last play of the third quarter.
Intercept.
And is picked off. Mark Lee intended for Kevin House, and here comes Lee. His second interception of the night.
That was an excellent interception. Beautifully timed. Mark Lee, one of a group of players in the Green Bay defensive secondary who have begun to come along. Watch it from the end zone, Don.
He got a lot of pressure. That was Ezra again up in there.
That'll create interceptions.
Yeah, it really
pressure
does.
up front.
You got to have that. That was just good play by Mark Lee. He had his eye on the ball, had a better look at the ball.
That's Kevin House up at the top of your screen.
Kevin, I don't think saw this ball, Frank, until after it had already been thrown. You can see, let's watch his head. See, the ball's already been thrown. Kevin looks back up, and Lee found the ball before Kevin did. He said, wait a minute, that ball was right there. Had Kevin maybe been able to see it a little sooner, he could have adjusted and maybe at least prevented that interception.
At least, and maybe caught it by, in effect, blocking Lee quite legally from getting to it.
And the fine return by Lee is going to be negated. There was a penalty on the return. Here's Jerry Seaman.
Same one of those deals.
Illegal block, number 52, intercepting team during the return.
It is honestly a rule that
George
needs to be examined. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's bad or whatever it is. They need to examine that rule. We're getting that penalty way too many times.
You're going to die of exasperation.
Okay. No, I'm not.
But in the meantime,
almost over.
First down 10, Green Bay at their own 40-yard line. We're in the fourth quarter. They have a 3-point lead over the Bucs.
That's right. Fourth quarter. Next to last game.
This is Clark. And the rookie from Arkansas gets a couple, maybe 3, up to the 44-yard line. To bring up second down and 7.
Green Bay has developed a secondary this year, Frank. Mark Lee, Johnny Gray, Tim Lewis, who can become a superstar.
He really could be the number 1 draft pick over the right corner from Pittsburgh.
And then there's Mark Murphy, no relation to the Redskins. Mark Murphy.
Second and 7. Huckabee. Good tackle for line of scrimmage. Fine defensive play. Mark Cotney coming up from the strong safety position.
Hard to run wide on that team. It's been shown all night.
It'll be third down and 7. Hard to believe this is the same team, the Packers, who beat the Bucs 55-14 in their first meeting and ran off those 49 points in the first half, an NFL record earlier in the year.
He scored almost every way you can think of. Punt returns, kickoff returns, they just had it all happened that night.
Third down 7 for Lynn Dickey. Dickey slips once again to cover the ball at the 35-yard line, and once again Green Bay will have to punt. Dave Logan penetrating there from the nose tackle, along with John Kennan.
In some respects, this game is unbelievable.
It is. You look at the shot like Dickey comes, he gets down, he poor baby can't get up. Come on now, Lynn. Whoops, he said. Now wait, let me just get me up from here.
He was getting pressure. He wanted to set up and deliver quickly, and he just slipped. Bucky Scribner on for the punting. T-Bell is back along with John Holt. Holt is 21. T-Bell to Holt's right. Not a good kick by Scribner. This is Theo Bell. And Bell at the 35-yard line, where Green Bay will have a first down and 10. Opening moments here in the fourth quarter. 34-yard punt by Scribner. 5-yard return by T-Bell. And it could be the time remaining for Green Bay's playoff hopes. They hold, however, a 3-point lead. 6-3 over the Bucs. Tampa Bay first down and 10. The ball at their own 34-yard line. Melvin Carver over the right side. And Carver, the 3, perhaps 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. Let's take a look at the third quarter numbers. Both teams playing. Actually, Tampa Bay just can't get anything going offensively, and Green Bay playing it very conservatively.
Well, they were virtually even, those stats at halftime, as you can see. But now, third quarter, edge goes clearly to Green Bay.
This turnover, I think, for Green Bay. So they didn't have any up in the first quarter. Yeah, that's kind of equalized it a little bit.
Well, I get the feeling Green Bay is playing not to lose, which is often the surest way to lose.
Second down and 6. Good hole there. Big opening for Carver, and he just blows right through the middle up to midfield before he's hit by Johnny Gray. Big opening. Sean Farrell and Randy Grimes, the rookie center.
The thing I've noticed about Green Bay is that they really have not thrown.
They haven't thrown the long but the big bomb all night.
How did you know what I was going to say?
Well,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
You and I have had a communion of thoughts for
many
14 years.
They did it one time, and who did they throw to? To whom did they throw? Epps. Touchdown. Penalty, of course.
First down, Tampa Bay, midfield, Kevin House. Top of your screen. Single setback is Carver. Carver works again. Oh, that's throw by Carver. Flag is down as Carver gets to the 45-yard line.
Holding.
And it will be backed up. Holding against Tampa Bay. And John McKay exercised on the sidelines. He's calling the plays, as he has been for several weeks now.
He's taking responsibility for that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
he's been maligned down here, and I think it's wrong. I want to say right out.
I have a wonderful opportunity. I feel like I've been slighted the last couple of weeks, and so while we have a moment, I'd like to just mention this. That this telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. Is intended for the private use of our audience. What do you got to say? Any rebroadcast? Right.
Number 88.
Right.
Offense.
Okay. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
Superbly rendered.
I think so. Thank you very much.
Jimmy Giles holding for Tampa Bay. That backs the Bucs up to their 40-yard line. It will keep the down.
Thank you, Howard.
The same. It'll be first down and 20.
After you meant that.
I did.
Thank you.
Carver's best output of the year thus far. Thompson looking for the screen. Wham! Tries to get it to Armstrong, incomplete.
Wouldn't have gotten him anywhere. The play was read perfectly.
The screen has really got to look like one of two things. Either going to run a run, or you got to look like it's a really good drop back pass. Get them to come in there on that quarterback. It didn't look like either that time. It looked like a screen pass from the snap of the ball.
Play sent in from the sidelines. And a second down and 20.
Had a big headline story here in the St. Pete Times. McKay back as coach next year. There was never a question about it, either between McKay and the owner, Hugh Culverhouse.
Besides, he writes his own contracts.
Right.
Thompson back. Thompson is down. That ball is loose, and the Bucs cover. Now they're saying that his arm was
going
in motion.
forward. Yep.
So it will be incompletion and bring up third down and 20.
They are not giving him the protection tonight that they've given him the past 2-3 weeks.
Now, this is just a little hully-gully football, but they're only going to rush 3 guys. I would do a rollout sort of situation. Don't go back into that pocket. You see his well, I don't know what he was trying to do. It was a...
That's Byron Braggs coming in for the left end for Green Bay.
I would have gotten to that.
Third down, 20. Gets a shot in to Theo Bell, and He is very close to the first down.
I think he's got it. By George, I think he's got it.
If he's not, by George, it's close enough to go for it on 4th down.
Could get a measurement.
Had good time to throw this time.
And he
Came back in the middle.
well. Steps up well, right into the pocket.
He did. They pushed him out on the outside. You see him slide Ezra on by. Ball was right in there. A little bit low, but Theo just kind of cradled that ball into the area.
Maybe just barely.
Yep. George, he did get it.
Yes, he got it.
I'm telling you, what an eye you have for an older fellow.
You're catching up fast.
Connects with Theo Bell. First down, Tampa Bay. 40-yard line of Green Bay. We have 11 minutes, and the clock is ticking away in the final quarter here in Tampa.
It's the good news and the bad news.
Again, Detroit players, I'm sure, watching, along with head coach Monty Clark. Green Bay loses tonight. They are the NFC Central Division champions. Carver running well tonight. Inside the 35, close to the 34. A gain of almost 6.
So a good spin off by Cumbie that time, the outside linebacker, number 52. Had Carver been able to react a little bit quicker, possibly he would have been able to cut on the inside. George met a blocker, kind of spun out to his outside, and right into Carver. Bart's probably saying, hey.
That's not a happy man at this moment.
Well, he wants to know what's happened to his offense. I mean, because those are the guys who've been putting the points on the board.
Second down, 6. Carver. Whoa. Oh, great running by Melvin Carver, the second-year man, free agent a year ago, and they've called on him tonight to do the work on the ground, and he has really produced.
Frank, that was a nice run. Let's just take a look at it again. Coming back on the inside. Cumbie, 52, going to meet him head on. Wham.
Watch him spin. Look at that.
Yeah, Carver won that one. Bounced off. Kept his balance, feet.
And holding that football tightly.
First down.
25-yard line.
Goodness.
Carver now 75 yards, and they've been tough yards tonight on 19 carries. Again. And it was Byron Braggs rolling out from the defensive left end, make the stop after a gain of about 2.
For a moment, it looked like he'd get more yardage on that. Maybe.
One brief shining moment.
Yes.
Now inside 9 minutes remaining.
Each evening from December to December.
Doesn't rain till after sundown.
Before you place your head upon that dot,
Santa Claus, they usually catch him on water skis down here.
think back to all the games that you remember.
9th play of this drive.
1 or 2 at least.
Thompson is back. Good. Oh, right for Theo Bell. And Theo Bell inside the 5-yard line, where it'll be first down, goal to go.
I think that was Thompson's best throw of the evening.
And
That one was
Tampa
right
Bay
on the
is
money.
putting a large shadow over playoff possibilities for Green Bay.
You play not to lose. It's the surest way to lose.
I'm going to quote you on that, not tonight, but as time goes by, I will quote that.
You must remember this.
Boy, I'll tell you,
Yeah, I know.
I need help tonight.
Yeah,
You'll find a way.
you can handle it, Shake. Don't worry about a thing.
It's first down, goal to go for Tampa Bay.
Just plow right ahead. Give them some facts.
Double setback offense now for Tampa Bay. They bring in Adger Armstrong. Got the 2 tight ends in. Roll out by Thompson. Touchdown. It's wide open. It is Armstrong. Touchdown Tampa Bay, and they take the lead. First time tonight, Tampa Bay has had the lead.
First time in a long time Tampa Bay's had the lead.
Tremendous fans down here. They've been very critical, but they are all on their feet, giving a 2-12 team an ovation. Jack Thompson, who came from Cincinnati for a first-round draft pick at the beginning of the year. Play action fake, rolling out.
Pretty good play action there, Shake.
Armstrong is right there.
Not bad.
Gray wrestles with him, tries to keep him out of the end zone. He does not do so. Capice for the conversion.
He hit the bar. Did not go through. Poor baby.
Capice, who has had his problems, and not all his. He's had 4 different holders this year alone. His center, Wilson, out with a broken hand from early in the year. We're back at Tampa Bay, even with the misconversion, has taken the lead over Green Bay. And we've said it all night. Green Bay knows what they have to do. They have got to win tonight. They have got to win next week.
I think it would be interesting to see if they do open up their offense a little bit more.
I'm sure of that now, Don. They've got to.
Think they will? Well, they got there by these outstanding receivers they have. Great passing game. We've talked about Lynn Dickey's kind of record-setting performance. Broke an NFC record.
There's Huckleby. He's dropped as Bill Capice approaches the ball. And Huckleby from the 5-yard line.
That was straighter than his extra point attempt.
Out of the 20 to the 22-yard line. First down and 10, Green Bay.
Can you imagine how Capice must feel? Don't forget our bowl games, Friday, December 30th, Florida against Iowa, and Monday, January 2nd, the big baby,
the Sugar
Bowl. Auburn against the Wolverines of Michigan.
Down in New Orleans.
21-yard line for Green Bay. They have 7:24 remaining in the 4th quarter. And this conversion, however, makes it possible for Green Bay to tie this up with a field goal.
Critical
offense at 2 tonight.
Critical offensive performance.
Dickey had to throw that away.
Good pressure. Was that Selman?
Trying to get a screen pass to Clark under tremendous pressure. Fans had to dump it off.
Fans were screaming for a flag, and so was Tampa Bay. But nope.
Bucks really rise to the occasion tonight, particularly on defense. They brought back Mike Washington, a fine cornerback. Good on the man-to-man coverage. They brought him back from the injured reserve. He's made a difference tonight. A lot of men out there playing hurt tonight, particularly Leroy Selman, John Cannon, and they're playing their hearts out. 2nd and 10. Dickey gets it to Kaufman, and Kaufman's still on his feet and battles out over the 45-yard line.
He's a battering ram. Don't forget, only 3-point differential, as Frank just emphasized, because of Capice's miss on the extra point. And Stenerud territory is not far away.
This is the guy I thought we would see an awful lot of tonight.
I did too. I thought he'd be the key guy.
Yeah, well, he may be before it's over, but they really haven't opened up their offense as we have been used to seeing them open up that offense.
That's Mark Cotney. He was shaken up on the play. And he is going to come off.
You ever wonder why they always walk arm in arm?
That'll require a little juggling in that secondary that's already been decimated. Johnny Ray Smith comes in, number 22 for Mark Cotney. First down on the great effort of Paul Kaufman. 46-yard line of Green Bay.
Face mask there.
Ellis gets 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 just inside Tampa Bay territory.
Apparently not, Frank. It sure looked like it.
Gary Ellis now walking a little gingerly.
Gain of 5 yards in the play.
Harlan Huckleby comes in for Gary Ellis. There's a lot happens in the middle of that field. Held him by the collar. 2nd down and 6. Dickey under pressure once again. Picked off. Intended for Jefferson. Beasley Reese.
Way to go, Beasley.
6th interception since coming to Tampa Bay.
Really, he's played amazingly well for Tampa Bay. We mentioned that before, too.
You know, they've got a lot of statistics. Now, maybe it's not Beasley Reese.
It was really just pressure on Lynn Dickey. And I believe once again, it was Spradlin on the blitz. He had Booker Reese in there. He had to release it. There comes Spradlin right there in Dickey's face.
Beasley Reese was in the right place, and whether it is or whether it isn't, since he's been here.
Interesting, 2 former Cowboys. Beasley Reese began his career at Dallas, Spradlin came this year from Dallas, and they made the big play for Tampa Bay.
Dallas doesn't have a shortage of good players. Something else.
Dickey never saw the interception, and one that could have a marked effect on Green Bay's playoff hopes. Interception has given a lot of joy in Motortown. The Detroit Lions, once again, with the Green Bay loss tonight, are the NFC Central Division champions. Beasley Reese brings it back to Green Bay's 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Tampa Bay. Carver, who has been working hard tonight, gets a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Seconds ticking away inside 6 minutes.
When you think about
Going
that,
with Detroit clinching of the NFC Central, it would mean also that San Francisco gains at least a wild card spot.
Carver's gone for 80 yards so far, Frank. Not a bad night's work. 21 carries.
He came into tonight with only 220 yards rushing, and he's had a big evening. Carver again.
that's a nice throw.
Carver breaks it back in, leaves the football there, and there's a scramble, but I believe the whistle had blown.
I believe it
as
had.
Carver gets the 1st down near the 18-yard line.
That was a nice pass route run by Carver and a nice throw by Thompson that time. Did not have to break stride. You see Carver come out of the backfield. Here he's in his set. What's this little angle? This is not an easy pass to throw. He never broke stride. Thompson laid it right out in front of him.
And I like it. He breaks it back against the grains. And
You're right.
many times now you see these backs, they will step out of bounds. And for many good reasons, I'm sure, but he got an additional 5 yards out of that. Adger Armstrong is in now. Number 46 is set back. Carver getting a breather. Armstrong covering up the football, well aware that Green Bay will be trying to pull it out.
If you think about that missed extra point, assume that they don't make a touchdown here and they kick the field goal. Had he made that extra point, been really tough for Green Bay.
Yes, indeed.
Gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
We're down to 4 minutes to play and count.
Has not been one of Lynn's better games.
Ball at the 16-yard line. Carver.
Oh, good defensive play.
Good effort. Mike Douglas defensively tripping up Carver, but not until he is moved to the 12-yard line.
Carver could have had much more yardage, but Douglas submarined him.
Douglas had a guy out blocking on him, and Douglas made a move to the inside. Right. Good effort on his part because Carver did have a little bit of an angle on him there that time.
Big play for Tampa Bay. They have a 3rd down and a long 3. If they can get the 1st down, the seconds are still ticking off at 3:12 and moving here in the final moments of the game. Third down 3. That's Owens.
The time ran out, I think.
The 30-second clock ran out.
Oh, that is...
That's
poor
really...
babies.
Yeah, that's one of those things.
False start. Number 75, offense,
false
prior
start.
to the snap.
I didn't see
Well, the
that.
30-second clock had run down, but we get a false start indicated against Tampa Bay.
That could take them out of Capice's range.
Well, it also it puts them into that area we were talking about tonight. They're not too successful from that 3rd and long.
There's some indecision on the part of what Green Bay is going to do. And we have the options explained to them once again. They have already sent their prevent defense in, however.
Wholesale substitution.
So it'll be 3rd down now and 8. All as you can see at the 17-yard line. 2 setbacks. Carver, Adger Armstrong, and a very nervous Bill Capice on the sidelines. Thompson off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Gerald Carter. That'll bring up 4th down.
He had him open. He had 2 guys open.
Green Bay battling back, and they're going to send out Bill Capice.
He got a little pressure that time. but maybe he threw a little bit before he had to.
I mentioned the 4 holders that Capis has had over the year. The man that's holding this evening, Andre Tyler.
Andre Tyler.
And of course,
Imagine how
Tampa
Capis
Bay
feels.
they lost the long snapper, Wilson, early in the year. 35-yard effort.
No way.
Oh. That wasn't even close.
He says, well, wait. I'm looking for a friend.
The Green Bay gets it back. They trail by 3. Back at Tampa, and there's a reprieve for the Green Bay Packers. It happened a moment ago. Bill Capis on a 35-yard attempt. Tyler gets it down, apparently all right. There was a little pressure. I don't think there was any contact made, however.
Thomas Morris was the closest one there, but it did look like from that angle that he didn't touch it. It was just not hit well.
No, he didn't get the ball up at all.
First down, Green Bay. They've got to get something happening. 2:49 remaining in the game. They're down by 3. The season is over, at least for playoff aspirations, if they lose tonight. Dickey, Lofton.
Yeah, you don't catch it on first bounce.
Short hops it. Underthrown. Again, Lofton was wide open.
And he was ready to go, and he was a nifty pickup.
Yeah.
Played it like Scooter Rizzuto in the old days.
Well, or Pee Wee Reese in the old days.
Oh, yes, I'll accept that.
Okay, thank you.
Little Colonel.
I was a Dodger fan.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
So was I when they were in Brooklyn.
I still am.
Clock stop, 2:44.
The Beast look for an off-season job. It can carry over into next season.
Dickey back. Fires underneath, and he connects with Gary Ellis. And Ellis swarmed under instantly. He'll get about 6 yards, and that's all. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
This defense is playing well. They have played well all night long for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Green Bay going quickly with their offense. They're running out of time.
2 minutes, 20 seconds.
To the 2-minute warning. Dickey dumps it off again. Gary Ellis. Ellis has the first down, and they'll mark it up over the 30 for the first down for Green Bay. And we are going to get the 2-minute warning. Packers do not stop the clock. We get the 2-minute warning. Packers down by 3. They have 3 timeouts remaining. 2 minutes remaining. The Green Bay Packers, not the offensive machine that we have seen much of the year. They have played well on defense. Tampa Bay has played exceptionally well on defense. And this man might be the man called upon to tie this game up.
He's getting
2
ready.
minutes remaining. 3 timeouts for Green Bay. An interesting statistic for the Green Bay Packers. James Lofton, they're all pro and great wide receiver. Not 1 reception on the night. And that will tell you the ineffectual way the passing game has gone for Green Bay tonight. There's down at 10. Green Bay, they're at their 30-yard line. Still left. And Jefferson flips to Lindecky's left. We understand we have lost the picture, and now we have it back again up in the East Coast. And here comes Jesse Clark, and Jesse Clark is tackled for a yard loss.
I tell you, the
Robert
Bucs are in there.
Thompson, the rookie from Michigan, made the play.
Don't quite understand that call. Do you, Don?
Well, quickly again, Green Bay goes.
No.
2nd down and 11. Lofton, midfield, first reception of the game, and he's down to the Bucs' 47-yard line.
That's one of the little mysteries that we've talked about. And
Now Dickey wants to stop the clock. He'll use one of the 3 timeouts. And Dickey will move over and confer with Bart Starr, a man whom he has replaced in many areas of the passing change on the sidelines, which Stelker called an option play that almost put the Bears on top of them last week. Green Bay pulling it out with the final play of the game with the center field goal, but Bart openly apologized to him, saying he's the finest offensive coordinator he has ever known. And he's that kind of a man, Bart Starr. First down at 10, Green Bay. They're at the Bucs' 47-yard line.
that's a good call.
Good call. Good call.
Jesse Clark.
Didn't get out.
Particularly when you only need 3, and Clark gets about 11 yards
He was
down close to a first down.
First and 10. That's still a good call where he gets in there. They're all playing a pass, but now he's getting down in that field goal range.
Virtually in Stenerud territory. 108 counting down. Gift.
On first down, Dickey is back. Fires a shot, and it's complete to Epps. Epps short of the first down, but a 9-yard pickup, and now within Stenerud's reach.
I don't think we saw Epps with those kind of moves when we saw them earlier in the year. That was a really good. He knew where he was, had his feet in position, caught the ball. Dickey comes in, he's going to get a little pressure, and look at this hit from the outside.
That's the kind of move that you were just describing by Epps that Pearson, number 88,
Drew Pearson. I knew you were talking about.
Has mastered so well through the years.
Second down, less than a yard. Jefferson in motion. Gary Ellis.
First down.
He gets the first down at the 23-yard line, and Dickey will use another timeout. I think they're thinking, let's tie this thing up.
I think they probably are, too.
Now they're down to one timeout.
You kind of got to wonder, though, you know.
And they can still win it. They can.
Oh, very easily, but they're being very cautious.
But that might be that kind of philosophy that we've alluded to earlier, in that they have played, either they've played more conservatively than what we're used to seeing, or the Bucs have really played a terrific defense. They have shut down what is one of the top offensive teams in the league.
Well, again, it's a combination of both. Tampa Bay is a great defensive team. There's no question about it, regardless of 2 and 12. They're a terrific defensive team. But Green Bay did not use their usual pattern offensively all night.
And there's been relentless pressure on Dickey all night long. You saw a moment ago, even the pass to Epps, which was nothing but about an 8 or 9-yard square out. He still was hit hard by Dave Logan just as he released it. Dickey is now 21 of 30, 230 yards, but he's had those 3 interceptions, and the man who could be on the spot very shortly, Jan Stenerud. 54 seconds remain. Green Bay has one timeout remaining. They have a 1st and 10 inside the 24 of Tampa Bay. Appleby and Gary Ellis are the setbacks. Pressure again on Dickey. Gets it to Huckabee, however. At the 15-yard line, and a flag is down.
Probably going to be roughing the passer this time.
Logan, once again, he's playing a tremendous game tonight. They are going to mark it off against Tampa Bay.
This could give the game to Green Bay.
Well, they still got to get it in there. But
46 seconds now remaining.
An eternity for Tampa Bay. Pressure for Green Bay.
A lot of time for Green Bay as they'll mark this one off half the distance to the goal. And whereas you might have thought they were thinking, let's play it conservative and go for the field goal, here's Jerry Seaman's call.
Roughing the passer for 7-8 defense. Illegal blow to the head. First down.
John Cannon, an illegal blow to the head of Lynn Dickey. And now, you know, they must be thinking, let's win it outright here. They have the first down, goal to go, the ball at the 8-yard line. And again, plenty of time, 46 seconds and one timeout. Crowd is on his feet.
At the top of the screen, you've got 2 of the really good ones. Epps. No, they're going to run it.
Inside handoff is Clark.
Jesse Clark, the ball carrier. Timeout.
And again, timeout called.
That was a strange call.
Final timeout. There are no more timeouts.
And that was a strange call.
You're right. Timeout. Why not go with your hurry-up offense? A quick pass, stop the clock. They wouldn't have used more than 8 or 10 seconds.
Possibly one of those gambles where they actually thought they could score on that play. They were on the 8-yard line, thinking possibly that...
Hey, they're really talking it over here in late moments, aren't they? Bob Stoker, that's Bob Stoker, the offensive coordinator, talking to Dickey. Bart Starr listening in, also offering his input. Give us a moment to tell you, the executive producer of ABC Sports, of course, is Win Arledge. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, produced by Bob Goodrich, directed by Jim Jeanette, regular director Chet Forty, now with us this evening. Technical director Joe Chavo, associate director Alan Brum, technical manager Rick Kolsky, unit manager Irma Norris, telecommunication manager Stu Stressler, Assistants to the producer, Jay Cudlow and Tony Tortorisi. Steve Bazzico is with us. Spotter, Steve Hurt. Statistical, graphic information. And, of course, stats and research is Joe Cox tonight. So they've worked it all out. Second down, goal to go. The ball inside the 6-yard line. 40 seconds remaining. Now they will not have an option if they fail to get into the end zone. You'll see hurry-up offense. No more timeouts. Looking for Jefferson, and he cannot one-hand it. Stops the clock with 36 seconds.
The old timing play, but needed more loft. John couldn't possibly get it.
Well, it's third down, 5 to go now. They've got one more shot at either a pass like that one, and if they're going to throw a pass, I would assume that they would certainly either go, high into the outside. Probably would not try to go across the middle. Too many opportunities for deflection.
How many times, I wonder, excuse me, Don, has John Stenerud, for 17 years, been in a game-winning last-moment situation? He won last week's game, 83, with the final second of a field goal against Chicago. Third down, goal to go. Dickey. Again, trying to get it to Jefferson. Stops the clock, 31 seconds. Oh, and Stenerud comes on.
We got it over tonight.
Does that extra point, poor Capizzi, do you realize how he has to feel?
Yeah, that put it right on his back,
and
didn't it?
John McKay, who is really thirsting for this victory.
Well, we're assuming that, of course, Jan's going to make this, and the odds are pretty good that he will. But
if he doesn't, we'll have a scoop.
23-yard attempt. Bucky Scribner, the punter, is the holder. Larry Rubens provides the snap.
There you go.
See what I mean?
And with 28 seconds, we move to a 9-9 tie. And again, it is the margin. The missed conversion by Bill Capizzi.
Right down.
Eddie Garcia to kick off for Green Bay. On the ground. Picked up by
get up, boy.
Owens, who decides he doesn't want to run it from the 12-yard line.
Well, that's unbelievable.
Picked it up, maybe, who knows, even popped one, but he stays there. Very conservative.
That's unreal. That really is.
Yeah, I know.
They must be just going. They're all playing for the overtime. Oh well.
Thompson comes out. 25 seconds remaining. And for Tampa Bay, if it's applicable at all, they have 3 timeouts.
Well, we've seen it all this year.
If you haven't, you've got a scoop.
Washington. Behind closed doors.
Well, they've opened those doors. The whole world knows about them.
Aren't they terrific?
Should have taken Dougie's advice.
Yeah.
I believe they're just going to play for
They are.
overtime.
That's
Well,
it. They're going to hear some boos.
Wait.
Well, they're getting it.
I'm going to.
Frank, now hear this. This will be Tampa Bay's 3rd overtime game. The 18th such game in the NFL this year. That's unbelievable.
Well,
Tampa Bay's thinking has got to be, we're not going to take any chances trying to get a score with 25 seconds remaining and turning it over down here and giving Stenerud a chance to win it on a final field goal. That's it. We move to overtime from Tampa. The score tied at 9. Tampa Bay to kick off. Harlan Huckabee is dropped for the Green Bay Packers. Capizzi hits to the 5. Fouled there by Huckabee. Picks it up quickly. And finds a little opening and works his way out to the 28-yard line. And on the night, as we look at Lynn Dickey, 22 of 33, 256 yards, but he's turned it over on 3 interceptions.
Thing you gotta remember about this situation is that if this game should end in a tie after one overtime period, Green Bay would still technically be alive, because if Detroit lost to Tampa Bay Sunday and Green Bay beat Chicago, Green Bay would still make the playoffs. Tie doesn't count in this game.
And it's not like they haven't tied one in overtime. They did it a year ago. First down and 10. The Packers.
Don't forget St. Louis and New York. And now Duke forget
Jesse Clark. Taken out of bounds by Scott Brantley. Clark gets about 4 yards.
Of course, Stenerud is the prevailing factor at this moment.
No, you're wrong. Capice is the prevailing factor at this moment.
Yes, looking at it negatively.
No, realistically.
I just saw Hugh Culverhouse, the Tampa Bay owner, outside during the commercial break. He said, "Get me a kicker."
Second down and 6. Arlen Huckabee. And Huckabee steps out over the first down marker up close to the 40-yard line. Scott Brantley again defensively there for Green Bay. Couple of
good conservative offensive calls by Green Bay, not trying to do anything quickly, move the ball down slowly. They picked them up a first down, 40-yard line. But with those dangerous receivers that we've alluded to so many times tonight, you've got to think that Green Bay does have, and they do, they have that potential to break this thing wide open right now. Right now.
All they need is one score, of course. First and 10. And a great catch by Lofton. His second of the night, and they're saying no, that he did not control it.
That looked good.
Up there to support Lofton.
From here, it looked good, but it was a great effort. The way he spun his body around, the ball thrown behind him. Watch.
The ball was not thrown exactly where it should be. A little turn-in route. You see they're throwing it back to the outside. Why didn't he catch that? Gosh, that looked like a catch to me.
Pure catch.
Looks like one to me, too.
And yet, James did not object.
Well, James is that kind of guy.
Have a second down and 10. Lofton, Jefferson, both split to Dickey's left. Blitz is on. Flag is down. The Bucs encroach. Dickey gets a free shot, and Kaufman comes down with it.
That's who I'd throw to.
It would appear, unless they were drawn off, that Dickey knew he had a free opportunity there.
I would throw that Kaufman. They're doubling over these wide receivers as much as they can.
Outside, Tampa Bay. The first down for Green Bay will be near the 45-yard line of Tampa Bay. Gary Lewis checks into the lineup.
If they don't mess up, you get a feeling.
The other tight end for Green Bay, tall, 6'5", 238-pounder. Recently signed with the USFL.
Who did?
Gary Lewis.
Did he really?
Lofton stood up to the top of his screen. Dickey changing things. Huckabee. And Huckabee, nice running, gets to the 40-yard line, a gain of about 5 and maybe a little more.
Closer and closer.
Realistically, you'd think they'd have to get to the 30 before Jan would be as effective as his percentage would indicate. So they've got about 10 more yards to go.
They've gotten down here in 42 seconds of the overtime. They've got all the time in the world. They can get it as close as they want and then wrap it up.
Second down and 5.
If they don't make a mistake.
Jesse Clark. Clark, another Green Bay first down near the 32-yard line. It was Robert Thompson, the rookie from Michigan, defensively for Tampa Bay.
Only now have they used a minute, Frank, of overtime.
Green Bay, oh so methodical. Playing the entire game in a very conservative fashion. Credit too, of course, to Tampa Bay's defense, but it's not the wide open type of passing offense that Green Bay has exhibited most of the season. Lofton is up to Dickey's right. Jefferson split to the left. Jesse Clark. And more yardage. Getting close to the 27-yard line. Gain of 5.
It'd be rather ironic that on a night when Stenerud breaks Blanda's record that he actually could win the ball game with 4 field goals. He's had 3 so far tonight. How important that kicking game is professional football.
I would have to think, Bob Schnauker, I know him. He's a gambling type offensive coordinator that sooner or later they're going to go with the play action. Tampa Bay thinking nothing but run, and they're going to try to get up on top.
might be the time right here, Frank.
Second down and 4.
Yeah, no. Well,
Huckabee dropped.
third down and
For a
5.
loss. It'll be third down and 5. Ed Judy there quickly. Former 49er.
Judy's played well. Played well all night.
I don't get that one either.
Well, it was just the play call was not so bad. It was just the execution that was not quite up to par. Yeah.
Gary Lewis comes in to join Kaufman. So the receivers on a third and 5 are Kaufman, Gary Lewis,
Best
two
league
tight
players.
ends.
It's nice and
Although
good.
Kaufman is just like a wide receiver, and Jefferson and Lofton.
He's got some room.
Huckabee,
There he goes.
big play. Huckabee to the 7-yard line.
You wonder how they did that one.
And it looks more and more like Detroit can go back to the drawing board. Detroit will play Tampa Bay on Sunday. As Green Bay has taken the kickoff here in the overtime period and now has a first down and goal to go at the 7-yard line.
Very hard to beat Detroit in the Silverdome, Frank. Record proves that.
Good block by Sid Kitson that time. He was the guy that sprung that one loose, number 64.
Huckabee has turned in a fine game for Green Bay tonight. Former Canadian player. And now Dickey just killing time. We're going to see Stenerud.
Here he comes.
Hesitation. And so on second down, Jan Stenerud has kicked 3 tonight. Set an NFL record, eclipsing the mark of George Blanda.
That's money in the bank, that man. What an asset.
Certainly been nice tonight.
Rubens will
But we did.
provide the snap. Scribner will place it down, and Stenerud, his attempt of 23 yards.
Well, we did see another professional kicker miss an extra point. But he was not Jan Stenerud.
Exactly.
There you go.
Down the middle.
This is history, and the Green Bay Packers very definitely stay alive for a playoff spot. Jan Stenerud, 4 field goals on the night, provides all the scoring.